Let me see. Chat en direct with Baby Boy. Shelly Boy wanted to say hello. And also thank you so much for your support over the last few weeks. It's actually Baby Boy's birthday weekend because he joined the family 6 years ago. So as you know, it's been, I haven't live streamed because it's been very hectic because Charlie had some health issues after the surgery. Hi Titi, I have a question for you, Titi. If you're in the States, I'm actually looking for information about good tea and herb tea. So I'm going to make this quick, but you know, he was in ICU last weekend, so it's been pretty horrible for me. He is doing as best as he could be doing right now. I will give you updates on his channel, on his Instagram, but also on GoFundMe. You have the link in the description because I'm doing a GoFundMe for those who may have some, you know, if you have a few dollars to spare. My vet bills are up to 7,250. See, voilà, and it's not going to end. Ramsey, hey, how are you? Long time no see. Donc voilà, there is the GoFundMe. I try and put updates there. I'm back live streaming because I realized 2 days ago that I had to try and do things as normally as possible because me crying myself out was not going to make Baby Boy feel better. Tomorrow he's going to have a blood test. Hopefully his levels are getting better. He's been up actually, guys, for almost an hour now, so that's why he looks sleepy, but he's doing pretty good in terms of energy and also appetite, which is great, and that gives me hope. I wanted to show him to you, you know, so that I try to keep him off the color, even if he is not resisting it too much. He got a little bit used to it, but you know, it's better when he's off it, so I use the sling because he has to wear it because his right eye has some serious issue and we don't want him to get hurt. Donc voilà, there's no really point, I think, in lingering, you know, just if I'd go into the detail, it hasn't been fun at all, as you may imagine. It would be too depressing for everybody, but voilà, he's doing much better. And also thank you, you know, thanks to you and your support. I know that it was hard for me to give the updates, but hopefully he will get better and better. Voilà, so today what I wanted to do, Christian, hi, Nicolas, Luis, salut, Mani, hi. I wanted to share those wines that have been introduced to me or that I found, you know, at the supermarket, because this time I'm really curious about good value wines, and I'm trying preferably to find good, and I'm really into Chardonnay when I'm here, because you have the best Chardonnays. So I'm preferably trying to find Chardonnays under 20 bucks, but I found also under 25 bucks. So before I throw away all those empty bottles that I've had on my own and also with some of my friends who live nearby, I wanted to show you what I found, and I think is really good value for price. wines. My English is so weird, I know. Those two I haven't tried yet, but this one, La Crema, is recommended by one of our friends. Thank you so much for bringing me this. You can find it at Total Wine. My friend says that it's about 15 bucks. Chardonnay from Sonoma, we know that usually the wines that come from Sonoma are really good. So I have very high expectations about this wine. Sonoma Coast. Since 1979, so over 40 years of winemaking excellence. It will probably be very good. I will let you know on Instagram. I will put pictures of the wines and try and make a, a sum up of all the wines I've had since I've been here. Less lately because, but I should be back on the saddle. Alors, this bottle, you know that I visited Muir Woods, I think I was here about 8 years ago. And that place was just so amazing. And I'm planning actually to go next week because that place is such a power spot. And I think it's going to do me good to probably give me some answers or show me the direction and just make me probably, just all this stress that I have accumulated over the last few weeks that have been so horrible for me. I think that going there might help me just, get all that stress out of my system, and I believe it will just show me something. So I want to go there next week. This wine, I've been curious about this wine because it's written Muir Woods, right? Since it's been 8 years ago. 8 years. And they sell it at Total Wine. I think it's about 20 bucks. 18, 20 bucks, I would say. Yes. It comes from the Monterey area. Arroyo Seco Vineyards. I must say that I think that in Monterey you have it's more the Sauvignon Blanc, the grape that is produced more. And the Chardonnays that I've tried are not as ample as the Chardonnays that are made in Sonoma. And Sonoma, Russian River Valley, all those areas, up north, I like the Chardonnays from there very much because they are very rich and full of deep flavors, fruit flavors. But the Chardonnays that I've had from Monterey were more, because the location is just so different, the terroir is different. They are more, let's say, on the dry side, not as ample in the mouth, and a little more, I would say, acidic. So they are not as much my taste, but I was really curious about this bottle. Ah non, Adame Dayo, ça tu peux pas le faire, Charlie. Non, c'est interdit. This is forbidden, baby boy. So I will let you know how I like it, okay? Now, no, we should stay there. Up. The bottles there are bottles that are not under 20 bucks or 25 bucks, but still I will show you what I've had. This Chardonnay, Napa Valley, Annabella, Oakville. I don't know where Oakville is, but Sonoma Vineyards, ne? This wine, guys, I don't remember the price exactly because I tried it at a restaurant. It was 30 bucks at the restaurant, like so cheap. And I think it was less than 20 bucks at the store, or about 20 bucks. And so good. Like the type of Chardonnay that I like, rich, full in flavors, like, you know, fruity, but also like kind of a little bit of honey aromas, and also all the, you know, tropical fruits that make the type of Chardonnay that I like. Hi Kerry. So very good. I believe you can find this, you know that I'm in California, but maybe you can find it in other areas too. This was really good. It's extremely good quality for value. Another one that I tasted at the restaurant and I thought, oh my god, this wine is so good. Sonoma Cutter. This wine, guys, a total wine, 20 bucks. At Draeger's, it's 24 bucks, 24 or 5. Draeger's is always a few bucks more expensive, but if you're close by and you don't have the time to go to Total Wine, this is also a very good Chardonnay, super well balanced. To me, this is the Cutter is a little bit more, it's round in the mouth, but this one is rounder. This one is richer. This one is round, but it also has some minerality, and it's, I would say, a little bit elegant. So it's a slightly different style. So I would say if you're in the mood for something like, you know, elegant with finesse and I don't know, maybe with sushi, some fish, you should have this. Even for aperitif without food would be very good. This one, oh, of course, I mean, you know, Chardonnay you can match with so many foods, but it's a little bit richer. So if you're in the mood for something richer, you know, like barrel aged Chardonnay, I would have this. Okay, but both two of my new favorites. Alors ensuite Chardonnay, non, alors we have some Cava that I found at Draeger's on sale. 15 bucks. And you know, I always say it's better to have good Cava than bad champagne. And seriously, I mean, we can't have champagne every day. Champagne is too expensive, right? I mean, maybe some people can, but you know, I can't. So I like to, you know, you could have also, you can find Prosecco on the Italian side is cheaper than champagne, but I prefer Cava because I find Prosecco most of the time a little bit too sweet for me. Cava, especially when it's Metodo Classico, is it written somewhere? It's, say, you know, classic method, which means that it's champagne, the champagne way of making the sparkling. Usually it makes good Cava. And also if you find old vines, also usually that makes something very tasty. Hi guys, I see you coming in. Hi. Donc this one, 15 bucks at Draeger's, was really delicious. Maybe you can find it somewhere else. What I can do, guys, is try and be a good fake YouTuber and write all the names in the description later on. Ram says, thank you so much for feeding me. Thank you, I appreciate that. Donc this Cava was excellent. You know, sometimes you can have Cava and in blind tasting it would taste almost like champagne. Donc voilà. Everybody's arriving, and maybe this wasn't a very good timing for you guys because in California most of you are probably out, but this one was at Draeger's too. I was when I had a meal with some of my friends, oh bébé boy commence à être fatigué. Tiens, ton famille, c'était comme un. Tu vas être encore un petit peu réveillé. If you're still up a little bit, then no problem sleeping without the cone, the collar, because you'll be too tired to try and scratch your eye, baby boy. So we thought, okay, we have, let's try something French. I think this was something like, eh ben je sais, $29, $28.99. So we're above 25, but all the wines are less than 30. Most of the wines that I'm having these days. This one I picked at Draeger's. They have an amazing selection, and what is good is that when they have, you know, those boxes with the wines on sale, very often they put descriptions, but so you can know from the description if the wine is going to be to your liking, right? But this one, to me, I picked this one even if they had other Puy-Fuissé and also Burgundy wines, because it's written Vieille Vigne on top of the vintage. Vieille Vigne means old vines, and usually old vines, they make deep in flavor wines. So when I see that, usually I would pick the wine that is made out of old vines over young vines. Another thing that also, alors, if you had a choice of between 2016 and 2018, I would take, yes, the 2016, because especially with Chardonnay, if it's rich Chardonnays, and you know, the Chardonnays from Burgundy, but also Napa, all those Chardonnays, they get better with aging. So my choice, if it were, for example, 2 old vines, even if one it would not be maybe old vine, I would pick the older vintage. For the same price, my choice goes to the older vintage, because 2 more years of aging, the Chardonnay gets even rounder in the mouth, all those complex and deep flavors come out more and more. With wine, guys, the younger it is, the less complex flavors you have. The more it ages, the more complex flavors you get. So, of course, both are enjoyable if it's a good wine, but I tend to like a little aged wines. And for example, when I see in Burgundy, I really like Merci and Montrachet or Pouligny-Montrachet. I have to remember and try and write this in the description after the live for you. To me, they're really like the top ultimate nectars of Chardonnay. These, honestly, 2-3-year-olds, it's a pity to drink those. I would say we need to wait at least 5-6 years, because if not, it's a pity, because they don't develop as deep flavors as after a few years. Voilà. Hi guys, I see you coming in. Huh? Donc, alors, now this is not, okay, the super cheap stuff, but something local. I always say better drink good Cava or sparkling than bad champagne. Alors, there are very famous champagne brands. Tétinger is one of them. And Tétinger, out of, you know, the pretty famous, like, you know, Veuve Clicquot, Moum, Tétinger, I would say are the pretty famous ones. Tétinger, when it comes to the flagship champagne, which is Brut, Tétinger is my favorite. I must say that the Moum Brut I cannot drink anymore. I loved it when I was almost about saying a kid, but let's say younger. Veuve Clicquot, alas, the yellow label, I cannot drink it. I prefer to drink this Cava. I know that Veuve Clicquot's yellow label now, they can never hire me as their ambassador, but The yellow label to me is just not my taste. They have amazing cuvées. Their vintage champagnes are amazing. Or if you'd had the yellow label in Magnum, then to me it's amazing. Because champagne and wines aged in magnums develop super deep flavors. But the normal one in a normal bottle, not really my taste. Huh? But alors, donc, better have a good sparkling than a bad champagne. This, to me, this Tétinger, so it's the same champagne house that makes sparkling in Napa Valley. And they use basically the same, you know, like techniques, but you can't call it champagne because it's not made in France in the Champagne area. Even in France, if it would be in another area than the Champagne area, you can't call the sparklings champagne. Champagne comes only from the Champagne area. But it's the same maison, house, champagne house, and they make this amazing Domaine Carneros, all their vintage. Most of the Domaine Carneros wines that I've had, sparklings that I've had, are really enjoyable. I like them very much. I think that this one was something like 35 bucks. I know that sometimes we can find 35 bucks champagnes. Then I think, you know, you have to try, and maybe if you're not sure, read the reviews. See if you know what type of flavors you like. That's how I pick the wines. And sometimes, you know, when I go to Total Wine and I'm not sure, I just, you know, check out the reviews and see at least, you know, the type of flavors to see if it's going to be to my liking or not. But this Domaine Carneros to me is just, I mean, this is champagne level. No doubts about that. So if you want to try something local and, you know, for a special day, you can. I recommend this. This is really good. Alors, attends, because I see some comments. Let me see. Alors, attends. Oops, sorry, guys. Alors, I saw a few questions. Would you happen to know the lowest sugar content wine available? Have you been able to find Brut Nature? Ouais. Alors, Brut Nature, yes. Because in Champagne... Ah, zut. Pardon. I love Brut Nature. It's either called Brut Nature or Extra Brut. Extra Brut used to be the original name of champagne that is not dosé, which means that they don't add at the end a liquor, a sugary liquor that, how to say, it settles the champagne. It gives it its final touch. And personally, I like it when it's zero dosage, no liquor added at the end, because to me, it gives champagne that really express the terroir. It's the best expression of terroir to me, and it really makes champagnes that are wine-like, I would say, and very enjoyable because they have very deep flavors most of the time, a certain roundness in the mouth. They are not like dry types usually. They are more like on the heavy, you know, style, with like brioche flavors, honey flavors. Of course, it depends on the terroir and the makers, but that's pretty common. This kind of, it's very representative, I think, those flavors. And those are my favorites. And yes, this is the type of champagne that has less residual sugar content, the Extra Brut or Brut Nature. But careful, because with the regulation, sometimes they're allowed to put, I don't remember up to how many grams of sugar, of liquor. And this is why sometimes, you know, I ask the sommelier, because it really depends on the maison, on the houses. Voilà. But I have to say that I'm a big champagne lover. I mean, I could drink champagne every day. But if you have not health issues, but for example, if you have diabetes, I mean, champagne and white are the worst. They're really a lot of sugar content. And also champagne and white. Champagne is the worst to acidify your body. White wine is second. If you have a body that tends to acidify, that is more on the acidifying side than the... Attends, and what's the other one? You know, the pH thing, when you're on the other side, it's okay. But if, like me, you have a body that tends to be on the acidified side, white and champagne are the worst. But they're very good pour le moral, for your, you know, they make you happy. Hein? Alors, Karine, ça va? Pastry Kai, kawaii name. Hi, alkaline. Voilà, merci, Carrie. A little bit of, you know, health talk. Your grandpa used to make, wow, amazing wine. I see. Hey, hi guys. I'm up again. Alors, écoute, ça va mieux, on va dire. Hein? Il faut bien, parce que... Now, let's do one bottle of real champagne. Expensive. Not too expensive, actually, good value. And then we can do the reds. One of my favorite champagnes. Charlotte 50 bucks is the average prices I've seen on the internet, and even at Draeger's it's 50. I think maybe it's 48 or 45 at Total Wine. Always a favorite. So deep in flavor, rich, you know, and really those honey like brioche, ripe fruits flavors. And when you have a sip, you know, it's those kind of wines you don't need to put too much in your mouth, because they are so deep in flavor that even a few drops, it really, you know, the flavors just expand in the mouth. And it's, to me, pure nectar. My image of nectar, the nectar of the gods, is that that would be something very tasty and that would just like linger in the mouth, and you know, the aftertaste would be so long. And that's the type of Chardonnays, of wines that I like, but especially in whites, Chardonnays, and in champagne. This is that kind of champagne. Alors attends, j'ai raté des commentaires, mais on va... Ah, thank you to my lovely friends who... On va passer là, c'est le top du top, le summum. Charlotte is really, to me, amazing, and price speaking, it is just like, I mean, 50 bucks, you know, as a special treat is good. So thank you for treating us to this. But then last week, I was, you know, as you know, I was really down. I got this small present on my Attends, comment on dit sur un meuble devant ma porte? This is the ultimate luxury and one of the best nectars that I know. I mean, this half bottle is twice the price of this. But Krug will always be Krug, and Krug is just... If you try Krug, guys, it's just so unique, so different. It just beats all the other champagnes. It has a style that is just so unique, I think. It's all this, but multiplied by 10, I would say, you know, in terms of flavors and deepness and elegance. It's like, it's powerful, but elegant. And it's really a champagne that you can drink as still wine. And I have visited Krug. I have visited many champagne houses. You go there, you are taken to another planet. it's the Krug planet. Those people are not, they are not making wine to sell it. They are making wine to share it. And all the people who work there, from the office to the winemaker and the person who welcomes you and spends 2-3 hours with you introducing the Maison Krug, it's just doing also kind of a time slip. And all these persons talk about the wine as if they were making it themselves. And actually the people who work in the office too, they have such a knowledge of how the champagne is made that it blows you away, because they really talk about the champagne. Every single bottle is one of their babies. And also the time slip, because the creator of this maison is just still, his presence is very, you can feel it there. And so what happens is that they have, I think, one group. It's extremely hard to get appointments there to visit Krug, because they take just one group at a time, and that group can be a group of 2 persons, as it can be 20 persons. So there is one group in the morning, and I believe 2 groups in the afternoon, 1 to 2 groups, which limits a lot. It's not like Tétinger, Moum, and all those other champagne houses who can welcome hundreds of persons at the same time. So they welcome you, hi. So first they take you to, it's like a living room, and you have the book of Krug and all his notes that I think that dates back to 120 years ago. It's the Bible, and it's inspired, all his notes, and the way he was saying he wanted to make champagne has inspired so many champagne makers. And so you're there, you can peruse, look at the books and everything. There is this beautiful sofa, small table, and she comes back with, et ben voilà. Là on commence, c'est avec la grande cuvée, which is their flagship champagne. And voilà, you get to taste the champagne, and she starts explaining the story of the maison. And it's just like you're with a friend, just talking about some winery, right? But the exception being that it's just so magical, that place. And then, she takes you around, she shows you where they make the champagne. I was lucky enough to meet the winemaker. I mean, he greets, everybody greets you like, hey, hi, even the people working, like, I don't know, like transporting the crates, and even people who are not really making the wine. All those jobs, from the office to the winemaking, and from, what people might consider as being the top person of the winery because he's making the wine. No, everybody is an important person there. That's what I felt. And really, every person puts its heart into its job, and it was just, I was bluffed. So it's just a unique atmosphere. And with the time slip, because you're just like, it's like that the founder of Krug is still there. And really, you feel so much respect for the founder of the maison, and so much dedication into the champagne making, that before going there, I loved Krug, because I'm lucky enough, to work in the wine business in Japan, and people, a lot of people have the means to buy those bottles, because the full bottle is around $180 to $200. But since I've been there, I mean, I even love more Krug because it's just so unique, I think. Exceptional. So that's a bottle. Well, I'm lucky that my friends are spoiling me so much. Merci les amis, hein, je vous adore. Merci beaucoup. For really like an anniversary, or if one day in your life you want to try something exceptional, Krug always works. Krug, if the harvest of that year is not good, they do not use the grapes, they sell it. So they have all those back vintages that they mix. That's the advantage of champagne, is that they can mix several vintages. They don't have to stick to one vintage to make the flagship, to make the brut, or here called, the Grande Cuvée. If you have a vintage on a bottle, that means that the grapes come from only that year's harvest. But all the flagships, like the yellow label of Clicquot, who's never going to hire me as their ambassador, it can be many years. It is usually many years of harvest. Why do they do that? It's because when the flagship of every champagne house has to be the same taste, exact same taste every year. That's the flagship, that's the brut. And then you have the cuvées the taste can differ when they can make it. Some cuvées they make every year, but the taste can be different because the harvest is different every year. The flagship has to be the same. And vintage, they make vintage champagne only when it's an exceptional harvest. And of course the taste is different when for example, you'd have 2003, 2010. Even if it's the same maison, the taste will for sure be different. Voilà, c'était le petit cours sur le champagne. Any questions? Does that make sense? I know this is a lot of information to process if you're not familiar with champagne, but wine, I believe, can be so interesting. If you're interested in wine, it's you don't have to have all this knowledge, but if you're really interested, then there is so much I still learn about wine, because also they change things regularly, but it's just endless, what you can learn about wine and champagne. Voilà. But champagne is really, it is the ultimate beverage, I believe, to make you happy. It's the drink of the kings. Hein? Tu vas le goûter? Bah oui. For a special occasion, you should. Have been to Monkey TM. No, but I have a little cute monkey here. What is your favorite winery in Paso Robles? Je sais pas. I don't know. I've never had wine from Paso Robles. Whiskey or wine for sushi? You know the answer. Wine, of course. Do I cook with any of those wines? Alors, I need some water, guys. Do I have some water here? Voilà. I need to go there. What I do when I cook is that I like to, when the vegetables or when I stir fry stuff, I like to add a little bit of wine or sake when everything gets dry. Baby boy is sleeping. So all those wines can be used. I would never put this in my cooking because this is way too expensive and too exquisite to be put in the cooking. You want to have this pure, right? Tasty Chronicles, hi. You're famous. I've heard about you. Hi. Also, another tip about sparkling that I was giving to my friends the other day. If you buy a sparkling that is not to your liking, that you don't like so much, what we do in France is that we do Kir Royal. Kir Royal is syrup with that you would put, you know, when you put syrup in water, or like we have Monaco, we put syrup in beer. That makes what we call a Monaco. French people's favorite, especially during the summer. Oui, bébé boy. Attends, tu sais ce qu'on va faire? On va te faire un petit coussin. Les petits coussins. Voilà, tu restes avec maman. If you have a sparkling you don't like, just add some syrup. The classics are raspberry syrup, but you can use other syrups, and that's what we call Kir Royal. If you do this with white wine, that makes Kir Royal when it's with the bubbles. That's a good way to use wine that maybe you don't like. What I do is when I don't really like the wine or I don't finish it, I always keep it for my cooking. Put the cork back on and in the fridge, even with red wine, and that enables you to keep the wine longer. Cassis, oui, Jeff, merci. Alors, I think you and I have to go to wine tasting. C'est vrai? Eh ben, il faut qu'on se trouve. We have to find each other on Instagram, and let's see in private messages if we can do something together. That would be amazing. Alors, Paso Robles or Santa Barbara? Right, like Santa Ynez or Los Olivos. Okay, I'm really not familiar with wines. I would say in the south of California. I'm more familiar with the wines up north, right? But yes, please, if you have also recommendations, I'm really curious about tasting new stuff. I will try and see. You must be on Instagram so we can, because we can't chat, you know, send private messages on YouTube anymore. Voilà, bon, ça va. Bébé boy est bien installé. Any more? Santa Maria wineries are awesome too. What kind of grapes are popular in those areas? I'm curious. In the meantime, I can show you two of my favorite wineries. Another one in Sonoma and one in Oregon. I have told you about those wineries before. I was super happy to find my friend Akiko-san. Akiko is Japanese and her hubby is American, and both of them make amazing Pinot Noir also. They have Pinot Noir there. I love Pinot Noir. They are in Hillsburg area. Hillsburg is the best place ever, guys. I want a house there. Please chip in. Freeman Winery makes des vins très gourmands, on dirait en français, gourmand. Like, oh my god, it's those wines that you want to munch because they are so fruity, but also like deep in flavor, but so very elegant. And fruity, but not like weird fruitiness, because sometimes, you know, if it's too much candied or like too ripe fruit flavors, it's not really my taste, but these are so elegant. Lots of red fruits, usually. It depends on the cuvées, but Freeman Winery, guys, I love it. It's the bottles, I think it depends on the cuvées. I think this one was about $50, but so much worth it. For you, I see with the tax, well, $46 with the tax, it was about $50, I think. You can't find it everywhere. I was lucky to find it at a gourmet shop, but you can order online. You will love this. Really, never a mistake. For a special occasion, that's the kind of bottle. Well, the occasion was having dinner with my friends, but you know. In Japan, actually, it's very easy to find Freeman winery wines because Akiko-san, a lot of people have it there. So I've had more Freeman wines in Japan than here. But if you find it, if you like round and like really, you know, red fruits, Pinot Noir and elegant, you will like this. Also deep in flavor, I would say, but so very elegant. And that's the kind of wines that I like. I like, you know, deep in flavor, but with the elegance, and with a very straight, you know, structure and a kind of freshness also, because then it's not heavy on the tongue. Because the wine can be rich, but if it has elegance and freshness, then it's well balanced, right? If it's just rich, but doesn't have a good balance, then it will end up being just heavy, right? But all those wines are just like, it has to be the perfect balance, like in food and in life, right? Which is very hard to reach, I would say. Alors, another type of Pinot Noir, this one comes from Oregon. Meisala Winery I have introduced before. They have cuvées that start at around, I would say, $15, but this one was more expensive, I think. More on the $40 to $50 cuvée. Thank you very much to my friends who spoiled me. When I say friends, I have many friends around who they all spoil me. Luckily, it's not just one friend or two friends who spoil me, because I think they would be bankrupt already because I get so much stuff. This is very, they are all made in biodynamie, which is hard to, you know, biodynamie means that they don't use all those chemicals, and they are doing an amazing job at it. I love my friends, Moe and Flora. I will have, alors on a combien, 47 minutes. I will have to send you this. I love you guys. I miss you so much. Alas, I can't make it to Oregon this time either because I have to take care of my baby boy. But I will definitely visit you one other time, because we haven't met in so long, and you are such amazing people. I was just so impressed, and you know, you've been such a good influence in my life. We met in Japan, guys. I'm explaining here, but if you'd meet Flora and Moe, you will have a blast, because they have an energy, an aura that is so rare. Check out Meisala on Instagram. You will see their site, you will see them. They are some of the most amazing persons I've met in my life. And there are less than 10 persons I would say that have really had a big impact in my life. There are some of those few persons. Voilà. C'est très, you have a lot. This is very, you know, I don't know, some people just, you know, vous marquent, quoi, you know, you get something, they imprint something in you. Donc voilà, I love you guys. I miss you. Meisala, and the wine is amazing. Such a hard work over a few decades. A life's work, I would say. All the cuvées are amazing. So there is a cuvée for every budget, I would say. Very fruity, very round in the mouth. Just, it's like it's fruit bombs. Easy to match with a lot of food, I would say, because even with fish. Because when you have Pinot Noir that is so round in the mouth, I think it's easy to match with various foods. the Bordeaux, well, the grapes are different in Bordeaux, but you know, when you have wines that are, you know, the tannins are not fondue. In this, the tannins are fondue. They are melted, we say in French. So that makes a red wine really easy to drink. I mean, you could also enjoy this without fruit. It would be okay, I think. So I highly recommend Mesala wines. Yeah, it's really like you can really wines that enable you to enjoy really a lot of fruits. Voilà. Those two. Even if I drink less reds now, when I'm here, I always try to find this. Voilà, guys, any questions? I think that Pipi Boy just peed on me. Nous avons des petits problèmes, des fois, c'est pas grave. I show. That one would be good for a picnic. Also, you know what? What is very good with Mesala is that it's screw caps. They must have maybe some cuvées that are not with screw caps, but so easy, right? Yes, definitely for a picnic, barbecue also. But also like special days. You know that the wine I had for New Year, because I stayed in Japan, I had brought back a bottle of Mesala from my last stay. I opened that bottle because to me that was really like, you know, special bottle. So what do I think of port wine? I like port wine. I think there are different styles. I like it. Ramsey, you would like this. If at Total Wine they have lots of different cuvées, check it out. Port wine, I actually did a program with the NHK many years ago. That was probably more than 10 years ago. They have an amazing port wine bar in Tokyo, and you know they do the service like really, you know, like there. And I tasted lots of different styles. I like it, but I think that if it were like, you know, Saigo no Bansan, like my last meal ever, if I had to pick an alcohol, of course I would have wine. Yeah. And if I had to pick a category of wine, champagne, you know. But the other day when I was at Taishoken, I had sake and I was like, oh my god, like I love sake. That sake can be so good too, right? Because sake now, you can find lots of sakes that I believe you can enjoy like white wine, because they are very round in the mouth and, you know, deep in flavor and round like Chardonnay can be. So that's what I like. What is it? The champagne, Saigo no Bansan champagne d'ailleurs. Voila, that price you would have gotten, yes. Yeah, please do that. Alors, let me go back a little bit in the comments. Alors, bon, daijoubu, sorry guys, I missed a little bit, well, a lot of comments probably. Voila, so that was all the dead bodies. I have something interesting to show you that I will taste on Patreon with my patrons, because I've asked you if you had also, guys, if you have recommendations. So this time I want to try a lot of especially Chardonnays, but good value wines, preferably under 20 bucks, but under 25 bucks. If you have recommendations, please put a comment after this video and I will try and find those wines, okay? But one of our friends sent me this. You see the color? Yes, this wine, guys. I'm going to taste it with my patrons on Patreon. Coffee wine. No, wine with coffee flavors. So, bon, on va voir. It's a little bit worrying, but it's always when I have the least expectation that I get the best surprises. So, and this one, well, a kiss of strawberry. Strawberry, there are lots of wines that taste like strawberries. So, right, coffee wine, I know. When I opened the parcel, I was like, I saw the color. And I'm like, chaud tomate. I'm like, non, c'est pas possible. Attends, wasn't I supposed to get wine? And then I read, and it's Kiss of Coffee. It's a grape wine with natural flavors and caramel color. Yeah, totally. This one is for Ramses. Huh? Thornton Winery. Very soon on your favorite Patreon channel. Eh bien, je sais pas. I have no idea. Is it infused with wine? Alors, I haven't checked out on their website. I will probably do that when I will do the live stream. I might, even if it's going to be a private live stream, I mean, if it's really like crazy flavors, I will then just extract that tasting and make it public. But yeah, I'm very curious. So guys, if you have, I'm also here for, you know, I have an address if you want to send stuff, if you want to feed Jennifer. I'm still here for a month, guys. I was supposed to be, actually, attendez quoi, ben, I was supposed to fly back today, but baby boy needs to get better. So I've decided to extend my stay of a month. Hopefully it will be enough for baby boy to really get better. We will also, I'm not going to fly child because even with a medical condition, they don't accept dogs in the cabin. Too bad. So I will have the babies in the cabin on the way back because I can't take any risks with Charlie, you know. We'll see. Hopefully he'll be really ganky, but yeah. And anyways, just even for me, it's so much better. So guys, post my address. Non, mais je peux, Christian, I can post my address on Instagram because it's not, I mean, it's my friend's address. So, I mean, if some people would go there, they will not find anyone, so d'ailleurs. But no, please DM me if you need an address. Send me a private message. If you're not on Patreon, send me a private message on Instagram and I can give you an address, okay? Alors, Rombauer, I am not sure. I think I have tried it many years ago in Japan. Because you know, the people in the wine business in Japan are so interested in Californian wines too. And I mean, New Zealand wines, Chile wines from everywhere. And I believe I tasted it a long time ago. It was really good. I've seen it in stores, but I can't buy everything, of course. But I know that this is good, right? It's a good brand, right? There is also that sparkling, is it Schramsberg? I think that I have tasted many years ago and I've seen it actually yesterday. I was like kind of tempted, but I have, you know, this and that to drink first. But you have so many amazing wines, guys. I'm never disappointed when I'm here, and I'd love, you know, to try more wines. So if possible, under 25 bucks. Please give me your recommendations and I will try and taste as much as possible, as many as possible. Imagine, hi. Yeah, we are, it's been an hour, longer than what I thought. Baby boy is fatigued. Baby boy is almost snoring. So I should, if there is a wine from them that you specifically like, let me know. how was the visit? Was it good? Yeah, Christian, yeah, I can't, it's a little bit, I think, it's un peu délicat, it's a little bit, maybe not so good to put an address. Oh, publicly, even if it's not my address, and you know, c'est bon. Seems just a little awkward to me, but yep, send me a private message and I can give it to you. Voilà, voilà. Alors guys, also I'd like to thank you again, so you know that maybe not all of you, but it's been really hard these last weeks. Justine, thank you, yes, because first there was a surgery stress, and then after that, you know, all the problems with Charlie having the kidney failure and being in ICU last weekend. I'm trying to get back into doing normal things because there is no point in crying myself out. That's not going to help him. And also I'm kind of getting, after a few days, even if it feels like an eternity, it's going to be 1 week tomorrow that he's been discharged from ICU. He's got a good appetite. He enjoys his walks. He seems happy. So that gives me hope. Now we're going to do a blood work tomorrow. Hopefully the results will be good. Hopefully his eye heals by itself. I'm not going to go into details because it's very depressing. And at some point I think we have to stop on focusing on all the possible horrible health issues that he might have, because honestly it's like on Wednesdays was again the end of the world because extremely bad, you know. So I want to believe now that our boy is going to be okay, he's going to be fine, he will recover as best as possible. We're going back to Japan in a month together. And voilà. Ouais, il faut rester positif, quoi. You know that it's very hard for me to ask for money, you know that, for myself, but my vet bill is up to a freaking $7,250. I mean, this is madness. I mean, this is shocking, but I mean, you know what I mean. You have to save your boy, right? So if you have a few bucks to spare, there is the link of the GoFundMe, or because I believe that GoFundMe apparently takes 3% of fees. There is the PayPal also, that's direct, both work. If you have a few dollars to spend, onegaishimasu, that would be a tremendous help. Now you understand also why it's good that all my friends are feeding me. And I don't buy, je ne peux plus acheter ça, c'est sûr. I can buy only the $15 wines now. But that would help. No obligations, of course, but I'm going to repeat this because I mean this is a lot of money that was so out of, you know, and extremely unexpected. It's going to add up because, you know, each time you go to see those vets, like a consultation here is $75. I think it was $250. From second time it will be $150 plus, you know, the medication, etc., etc. It's just madness. You're like, this happened here probably for a reason, because in Japan, I mean, vet is just so much cheaper, but this is the current situation. So if you can help, please do so. That would be more than welcome. Voilà. I will keep you posted. Don't worry, thank you. It's okay, daijoubu, arigato. I see you coming back on Patreon. Thank you. Charlie has his own Instagram. If you go at the bottom of the description, you have Charlie's Instagram, because I believe that many of you are not aware of that. That's where I put most updates, I think. Also, even if you don't chip in the GoFundMe, don't worry, but I'm trying to put updates there also, because you know, people who have chipped in, I believe they're interested in really knowing what's going on. It's been hard to do all those updates because it takes me back to, you know, all the emotional stress, and you know, it was just hard. I think it's getting better because I'm hopeful, you know, he's going to kind of recover, even if the kidney failure is irreversible. But you know, I mean, there are lots of dogs who have a kidney failure, like not losing his eyesight. He can learn to live with that, right? So you can check out all those links if you'd like, but you know, I understand also that it's not very. It's also good maybe not to go too much into detail, because we want to see the Genki boy and try and stay positive, I think. Voilà. But I will keep you posted, because tomorrow blood test, and we'll see from there how we work, because he's been on fluids seriously every 2 days. Oh my god, so stressful, because he refuses it. So I've had to have other friends who live nearby come and do it last time, because I mean, he tried to bite me. He doesn't have any teeth, but I mean, seeing him like this was very unnerving for me and really stressful, right? Il en a marre. Voilà, guys. Yes, I know, it's just like madness, huh? The fees here. In Japan, you know, a consultation, I've never paid more than $10. It's just, yeah, it's just crazy. But, and we were talking about also, I mean, the medical care here, or even for humans, is just crazy. It's cheaper in Japan. Yeah. Voilà. So guys, thank you so much. Baby boy, we have actually to go on our walk. You can sleep on the sofa first. Yes. Tu vas pas avoir besoin de mettre ton cône. Hein? T'es tellement fatigué. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining. I hope this was helpful about the wines. Don't forget to put in the description if you have recommendations about any wines, preferably good value wines, because then I'm going to make, you know, I will post all of this. I need to take the pictures before throwing out, but I will put also the information on Instagram. So please, Tasty Chronicles, thank you. So let's try and yeah, the wine talk. Thank you. Ramses, merci beaucoup. Thomas, thank you. Lots of love. Baby boy, thanks you too for your support. Lisa Chan is sleeping. Bye guys. Merci Karine, à bientôt. Et puis bah, Pierre, tout ça quand vous allez regarder en replay, lots of love. Que tu es adorable. J'ai vite manger. Lots of love and see you again very soon. Okay, lots of things to taste with you guys. Voilà. Bye. Have a good end of Sunday. À bientôt. Bye bye. Gros bisous. Bye guys. Bye.